always have trouble seeing the REC. There it is. Okay, I'm with another friend for another interview. He wants to remain anonymous and off camera. So, first question is, what is most important?
What is most important? I think right now, what is most important to me is just to not hate my life, I think. And actually, just recently, for me, I've got two parts of my life. I've got work life and I've got home life. And work life, up until a couple months ago, for the last few years, has been horrible. And every day, I would go to bed dreading the next morning, and then I would wake up at 4 a.m. dreading the upcoming day. And so I finally realized after my uncle passed away and just before Thanksgiving that I couldn't do that anymore. So I applied for a different job that didn't include supervising staff and had a lot less responsibility. And so now that part of my life is a lot less stressful, and I don't hate every day because of it. And then the other part is family life, and I've got 3 kids, 10, 4, and 2, and that is definitely a challenge, having someone else who's got a mind of their own, speaking of my 10-year-old, and has very strong opinions, and so every day I'm trying to work on accepting his opinion, or accepting the fact that he doesn't have the exact same mind as me.
Right.
So I think every day it's getting better, and so I think that's what's important to me is
So being a good father is actually on your mind.
Oh, absolutely.
You're not just going through the day saying, whatever.
No, yeah. So as you were saying, 1, being a good father at home, and then 2, not hating my job, which is unfortunately a significant portion of my life.
And I would highly recommend a third life, a life with your friends.
Oh, man.
So that would be me, at least.
Right.
Okay. Second question. I've made it specific for people I know about, generic for if I don't really quite know the answer. So the generic version is, what is your opinion on organized institutions like government and religion?
I really don't have much of an opinion about them, as long as they're not requiring that I do something that I have significant reservations about, misgivings about. So as long as church or government isn't trying to tell me to do something specifically that I don't want to do, I don't really care. And my apathy is long-standing, and I don't think it'll ever change.
I've described to people that I'm not really atheist or agnostic, but apathetic. So I very much understand that. Okay. Third question is, if you were a superhero, what would your superpower be, and what would your superhero name be? Now, people have taken this different directions. One way is picking something in their life that might make them heroic. The other way is going to the comic books and saying, oh, I want to fly and shoot lasers or something. But you can answer that either way or both.
I'm sorry, can you just restate the question one more time?
If you were a superhero, what would your power be, and what would your superhero name be?
I think my superhero power would be able to rewind time.
Have a do-over?
And have a do-over. Not that I live with significant regrets, and I think we all live with regrets. And there's not even things that I necessarily regret. Sometimes I just want to go back and relive.
So maybe like the last 5 minutes, go, oh shit, I forgot my keys, go back in time.
Shit. I think recently when my uncle died, I realized that I'm 37 years old, and every day is one step closer to death.
Yep.
I really don't want to die. So I just want to keep on being able to go back. Shit, I'd start back from, well, varying times. And again, not necessarily to do over stuff, but just to have that time again. And it's not really related to being a hero either.
So like if you went to a boring opera, you would go back in time and not go to the boring opera.
Shit, I would go back and relive that opera.
Really?
If it was boring, I just want more time in my life. And
so you would actually rewind and replay, not rewind and make something different.
Or changes as, if the shit...
If you saw it necessary?
Yeah, if I saw it necessary. I mean, if I had the superpower, shit, I could go back and do it 10 times over and, try different, things, or maybe just the same thing because I liked it, or...
Okay.
And I don't think being bored is a bad thing either. I think that's part of life, and that's fine.
Okay. Interesting. Last question is, do you have any questions for me?
Oh, man. Do I have any questions for you?
Now, that one I gave you in advance. The rest I did not.
Yeah. Questions for you. I don't think any that I would want to have on camera.
Really? Because that's what this is about.
Yeah.
I mean, you aren't going to ask me about my penis length.
Shit.
So what do you want to ask me on camera?
Well, now that you've ruled that one out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I would ask you, do you have any long or short-term plans for, and long as in 5 years, short as in?
I've always had long-term plans. Getting them implemented is completely different.
Yeah.
My short-term plans, what's most important to me at the moment, is getting this talk show off the ground.
Okay.
There are some people specifically that I want to talk to on camera, but I thought, why should I limit it to them? Let's get some people that I know and like and respect, and maybe even learn more about. I've done about 10 people. The first two weren't quite really in this format. I just wanted to chat with people on camera, my neighbors. And the people who have seen them seem to like them. And I'm like, well, I really enjoy this, so I'm going to keep doing it. So that's my short to mid-term goal.
That's cool.
I do have long-term goals that could be springboarded off of this. So that's why I'm making this a big deal now, because I think it can help me in the future, and that is creating a new society that that is doing some of my research projects, my scientific engineering things. I brought it up and people have kind of crapped their pants about it, and I'm like, well, yeah, I know, that's why I need help, is because I'm crapping my pants about it. So this, I think, is a good personal, intellectual, even spiritual stepping stone, I guess, to doing more things. Not that I will ever discontinue doing this. I hope I can do this forever, because I find it fascinating. And
oh, shit. Sorry. I was driving really fast.
And that might be my own ego, even though my greatest confidence has always been in my low self-esteem. But I enjoy getting involved with people and getting into these in-depth discussions. Does that answer your question thoroughly?
It does. I think that wasn't what I was expecting, so...
Okay, then let me ask you, what were you expecting? What were you thinking about my long and short-term goals?
I don't know, but I wasn't, I definitely was not realizing how involved you wanted to be in this
The camera show?
Yeah, the interview.
Yeah.
It's very cool. And that's something that I guess personally I would never do.
Well, yeah, you said that getting up in front of people and speaking is like one of your worst fears.
Yeah.
And let's say I've been working on overcoming that. Because I wouldn't say I've had similar fears, but you know, if I had thought about it, I'm like, yeah, why would I want to do that? I don't know, let's try it. There's a song lyric about, you know, find something that scares you and do it. Or do something every day that scares you. Or maybe it's just a philosophy, not necessarily a song. So were you expecting more like get a life, a wife, and a job, or?
I have known you too long to think that was going to be the answer.
Right. Let's see. We've known each other, what, 15 years now?
Oh, God.
Since I was 30, and I'm 46 now.
Shit.
So that's a third of my life I've known you.
Wow.
Any other questions you have?
No, not at the moment.
Well, then I look forward to doing this again in the future with you or anyone else if you feel like it. I don't know if I'll have different questions. I hope so. But we'll see how this is going.
Yeah, you know, it'd be interesting if you answered or if you asked the same questions.
I have answered my questions before, and I've answered something similar to what you were asking about what's my goal.
Yeah.
They ask, why am I doing this? And it's very similar to my answer to you, but slightly different. So I am also interested in watching myself because of those minor changes.
Yeah. Huh.
It's like, well, maybe I didn't really look at it from that point of view previously.
Yeah.
Are you sure there's nothing else?
I'm sure.
Okay. All right. Thank you much.
Thank you.
Okay. That last interview, we talked about the time travel. That was really more of doing what now?
The idea behind the power, this hero power, superhero power to go back in time, was more about not taking anything for granted.
Not taking anything for granted, that's what it was.
To go back in time and be able to...
And re-appreciate it.
Re-experience something and appreciate it.
As if you hadn't experienced it before.
In a way that wasn't experienced before, yeah.
Cool. I didn't quite get that the first time, but I definitely wanted to add that. So I'm going to append this to the first video. All right?
Sounds good.
Cool, man. Thanks.